Hey guys, Omni here. We got a trailer for something new and Star Wars related that came out. I'm a little late to it. I think it came out last week. But I wanted to make sure to avoid watching it because I wanted to talk about it and check it out and make sure I have a legitimate reaction to it for everybody. I don't know if you listen to the podcast, if you know anything about me personally. Star Wars is probably my favorite movie franchise, period. I grew up on the original trilogy. I actually like all of the prequels. I know they're not the best movies, but I love them for what they are. I like The Force Awakens. I have some very mixed opinions about The Last Jedi, but I don't think I'm alone in that. I was very excited with this, the potential that these new characters and these new stories have had for where Star Wars will go into the future. And despite how Last Jedi has kind of split everybody on whether or not people like it or hate it, so far, up until that, even going on after it, the animated shows have all been pretty much well received across the board. Like I haven't heard anybody really say that they didn't like the Clone Wars or they didn't like Star Wars Rebels. Now I haven't finished Rebels. I've watched some of it. I haven't watched a lot of it. I know how it ends because I decided to just look that up because I didn't have the time to go back and actually watch everything. So I was when I heard they were actually going to be ending it already, I was like, well, how are they doing that? Like, how are they wrapping up this story? And I was a little surprised that they ended up like closing the loop on that as soon as they did it early into what most people just kind of drag a show like that out and out and out until eventually you end up with a dissatisfying end to it. But yeah, it from what I read and all that, it's all right. Everything I've seen was really good. I have some nitpicking, but mostly just about the animation choices. Mostly the lightsabers bother me a little bit, being like little twigs. But the Clone Wars series, love that to death. I did not like it at first. The animation was very jarring for me at first, but I pushed through because of my love for Star Wars, and I ended up loving it. So excited that that's coming back as well. But they just announced this new one. Dave Filoni, who has been show running a lot of the other Star Wars animated series, has kind of a George Lucas-esque role as far as this show is concerned. He's not the showrunner, but he is in a consulting capacity for this going forward. So with his hands still in it, I still have hopes for it because everything he's touched is gold, and I have no problem with any of the decisions that he's made in this universe. So I've seen some stills for this. It looks like it's kind of like a cel-shaded kind of computer-generated animation, similar to some of the anime that you see on Netflix that are coming out now. So anyway, enough talking about it. Let's just go ahead and let's give it a watch.
Can you imagine what it's like to be an ace pilot? This is your chance to make that true.
I've got a mission for you.
Yes!
Blend in.
Is that Poe?
Find out who's loyal to the good guys and who isn't.
What was that?
What was what?
The throwing and the falling. Over there.
Don't think about it.
You
What?
click on my team,
What?
Get ready to be impressed.
But when it comes to your mission as a spy, I don't want anything to do with it.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
I just wanted to wish my competition good luck.
This is fine. I'm fine.
Just be careful and don't explode.
I'll do my best.
This should be good.
Here we go.
Was that a gold stormtrooper?
New series premieres Sunday, October 7th at 10 on Disney Channel.
Yes!
Oh, well, that cut out short there. Okay. It was short, not a whole lot to go off of. I actually don't mind the animation. Actually, I was a little concerned about it looking at the stills and stuff for it, because I'm usually not that into that type of animation, but I don't know. It definitely looks geared towards a much younger audience than the Clone Wars and Rebels was. Because Rebels, I would say, was a step down from the target audience of Clone Wars. Because that stuff there was some childish stuff in there, but it can get really dark really quick in the Clone Wars series. Rebels took it down a little bit. This looks like Star Wars Flight Academy. I don't know. Poe Dameron kind of in a mentor training kind of role. We got BB-8 rolling around. A lot of like slapstick humor in there. A gold stormtrooper, that's something different. So I'm curious. I'm not, I wouldn't say I'm excited for it. I'm not excited for it. I guess what I'm getting at is like the trailer just kind of was just, my feelings towards this is just probably how it was with Clone Wars, with Rebels. Initially, it's just kind of, I was like, I don't know where my interest level is on it. I'm somewhere like in the middle. This isn't something I'm jumping towards. I do like the Poe's in it. I would like to see how his role is played out in this. The only thing I did read when looking into this trailer when it was dropped, the article that at least featured the trailer originally, stated at least this, I don't know if this, how accurate that it is, but this takes place before The Force Awakens. So it's before all that confrontation, all that stuff with the map, with BB-8, with all that stuff involving the First Order out of The Force Awakens. So that time frame would allow for a little lighter of a tone and a whole different kind of way we see the world that this new trilogy kind of exists in, like post-Empire. So as far as that's concerned, that could be really interesting, seeing how maybe the world works in a post-Empire state. I know that's been explored a little bit in some of the books. I haven't read most of those yet. Really, out of the canon books since Disney took over, the only ones I've actually finished was Lords of the Sith, and that was really good. I loved that book. If you haven't, definitely check that out. Vader and Palpatine trapped on a remote planet. Definitely some good stuff in there. But it doesn't seem like a harmful show. Like I don't see how this can be divisive in any way, and that's the best you can ask for with Star Wars at this point. But yeah, I guess we'll see we'll see how it all pans out when we got more to look at. When it's closer to when it releases, we'll probably get some more looks at it before it actually airs. But I don't know, looks all right. So anyway, I'm just going to wrap it up with that. Thanks for stopping in. I would like to hear your all's comments. What was your all's reaction to the trailer? We can talk about that. The current state of Star Wars without going into full. Let's avoid The Last Jedi as best as we can, because I don't want any. I don't want the comments to get out of hand if anybody just starts talking about Last Jedi and all of that. But let me know what you thought about this trailer. If there's anything in it I missed, anything new about it that I didn't get to touch upon, I'd love to hear it. Anyway, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Later.